All right, today we're going to decode what might be the single biggest disruption facing the Indian economy right now, the rise of Gen Z. They are completely reshaping the future of business, and look, if you're not obsessed with understanding them, you might be building for a market that's, well, already disappearing. Let's dive in. And I'm not exaggerating here. The stakes are incredibly high, which really leads to this one crucial question every single business owner needs to be asking themselves. Because Gen Z isn't just another demographic, you know? They're more like a whole new operating system with a completely different set of rules. For example, just take a look at this number, 28%. Any guesses? That's how much less alcohol Gen Z drinks compared to older generations. Seriously, they're way more likely to grab a protein shake than a cocktail. I mean, that's a massive shift in values, away from partying and towards personal wellness.
And where they get their information, who they trust, it's completely flipped. Yeah, forget about those massive traditional celebrity endorsements. For Gen Z, authenticity is everything. It's why a niche Instagram creator with a real community has more sway than a huge Bollywood star. This just rips up the old marketing playbook. And maybe the biggest shocker of all, their expectations for service are just immediate. We're talking about a generation where 10-minute delivery is the new normal. And anything longer, even just 15 minutes, can feel like a total service failure. The demand for speed and convenience is like nothing we've ever seen before. So, how do we make sense of this new world? Well, we're going to break it all down into 4 key areas. We'll kick things off with their unique consumer mindset. Then we'll look at how they're redefining huge industries, explore why WhatsApp is basically their new operating system, and wrap up with the most important currency of all, trust.
First up, let's get into this new consumer mindset. And the best way to understand it is through something we can call the consumption paradox. It's this really fascinating, kind of contradictory way that Gen Z deals with their money. And wow, this chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? Gen Z holds only 4% of total bank deposits in India. They're just not saving very much. But get this, they account for a staggering 50% of all personal loans. So what's the bottom line? They have very little savings, but they're driving a massive amount of consumption, all on credit.
And this quote from Shetty at Axis Bank, man, it just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly explains the why behind that data. It's simple, really. This generation has huge aspirations. They want to consume now, but they don't have the income to back it up just yet. So credit becomes the bridge to get what they want.
Okay, so what does this actually mean for your business? 2 things. You absolutely have to do these 2 things. First, you've got to make everything affordable through installments. If you sell anything over 5,000 rupees, offering an EMI option isn't just a nice feature, it's a must-have. And second, you've got to make your product engaging. In a world with a million distractions, you have to gamify the experience to turn that one-time buy into a long-term habit. Okay, let's keep going and see how this all connects to their bigger life priorities. Because Gen Z isn't just changing how they shop for small things. They are completely rewriting the rules for huge industries like healthcare and even real estate. Think about it this way. The old school approach to healthcare was totally reactive. It was all about cures for problems like high cholesterol down the road. The new way, it's all proactive. Gen Z isn't really worried about 20 years from now. They care about looking and feeling good today. And that means the focus is on wellness, vitamins, minerals, supplements, you name it. So this shift, it opens up 3 massive opportunities for anyone who's paying attention. First, direct-to-consumer brands in areas like dermatology and supplements are just exploding. Second, there's a huge opening for what you might call the doctor creator, actual medical pros who build trust by creating content. And third, your marketing has to be about immediate benefits, not some far-off prevention goal. Okay, but what about real estate? There's this common myth that Gen Z just wants to rent forever, to be nomads. Well, get this. This number just shatters that myth, 31. That's the new average age for buying a first home in India. It's down from 41 just a few years ago. The desire to own a home is still incredibly strong, and it's starting earlier than ever. All right, our third theme. And honestly, this might be the biggest operational shift of them all for businesses. We're talking about the rise of WhatsApp as a core operating system. The future of commerce isn't on a clunky website or even an app. It's all happening inside a chat window. Let's look at a real-world example. NoBroker is absolutely killing it with this. So an owner lists their property and boom, they instantly get a WhatsApp message. They can just reply with photos right there in the chat, and then AI takes over. It sorts them, enhances them, and uploads them.
The whole thing is totally seamless, it's conversational, and it removes all the friction.
And if you're wondering why companies are going all in on this, well, the data doesn't lie. Just look at these conversion rates. Email and SMS, they're basically fading into the background. WhatsApp is delivering results that are just multiples higher. It's the undeniable king of customer engagement right now.
You know, Samir Shetty puts it so simply. The reason it works is that we've all been trained to just ignore SMS and promotional emails. They're just noise at this point. But WhatsApp, it still feels personal. It's a channel people actually open and read, which gives businesses a direct, uncluttered line straight to their customers. Okay, this brings us to our final and I think most critical piece of the puzzle. In a world of just endless noise and skepticism, the single most valuable thing a company can have is trust. And for Gen Z, believe me, it is the ultimate currency.
So how do you actually build it? Well, one really powerful way is to think of it as a trust ladder. You don't just ask for a massive commitment on day one. No way. Instead, you earn their trust step by step. NoBroker did this perfectly by starting with low-stakes rentals. After a few successful, easy experiences, customers felt confident enough to trust them with a huge, high-stakes home purchase. And you know what? This idea works everywhere. It just looks a little different depending on the industry. In banking, trust is all about consistency, just knowing your card will work every single time. In healthcare, it's about transparency. Is the billing clear? Is the medicine authentic? And in real estate, it's about proving yourself on the smaller deals first. And really, it all boils down to this incredibly powerful idea from NoBroker's Akhil Gupta. You can't just chase revenue. It doesn't work that way. You have to focus first on earning your customers' trust with pure honesty and great service. If you can do that and do it well, the revenue will follow. It's that simple. So look, Gen Z has laid out a totally new set of expectations for how businesses should operate, how they should talk to us, and how they build relationships. The old rules, they just don't apply anymore. So the final question I have is for you. Based on all this, what is the one single thing you're going to change tomorrow to start winning in this new reality?